Okay, now we're recording. So like I said, most of what we're going to focus on is the nutrition plan, but we're going to kind of touch on several aspects of the program. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And let me make sure, I've been having issues with my sound. So if at any point it sounds like I'm really quiet or anything, somebody just like unmute yourself and start screaming at me. Okay, so thumbs up from somebody whose video is on that you can see my slides. Okay, awesome. Thank you. So the thing about this program when it first launched is that a lot of coaches who were going to be going through the program and who were going to be inviting ladies and challengers to go through the program with us was the name of the program, 80-Day Obsession. You know, we focus so hard on finding balance and creating a lifestyle that the word obsession just kind of seemed a little harsh and like it would scare people away, really. However, going through several trainings with Autumn, the creator of the program, I was actually, Mallory and I both were in a coach test group with Autumn during the first round. And she talked a little bit about the name of the program and how several people at corporate were even a little bit nervous about the name of the program, but she just kind of explained it like this. It's all about getting obsessed with your health, right? So I think as long as we keep that at the forefront of our focus and we continue to focus on sort of our transformation from the inside out and making, you know, clean eating a priority and making getting our workout done and getting some kind of movement in a priority, self-care is a really big part of this program and kind of what's factored into this program. So making that a priority and literally just getting obsessed with taking care of ourselves. And that's really where the name of the program comes from. And so I thought that this was kind of an appropriate little thing to start with is learn to love the journey, because fitness is not just a destination. And I think it's so easy for us to kind of get focused on that end goal that we forget to enjoy all of our small successes and wins along the way. And the fact of the matter is this, it's an 80-day program. So regardless of whether this is your first full program to go through, regardless of whether you've maybe been through one round of a 21-day program or maybe a couple rounds of a 21-day program, I can promise you that this program is going to be different than anything you've ever done before. I can promise you that. So the fact of the matter is that if you get so wrapped up in day 80 that you're not focused on day 26, you're not going to get as much out of this process as you would if you would just focus on the journey. So just kind of keep that in mind as you navigate the course of the next 13 or so weeks. I wanted to kind of start off, I don't know if this is going to work or not. I don't think that it is. There's this video by Mel Robbins. I'll just post it in our, well, let me see if I can pull it up because I think it's kind of important. Hold on one second. I wanted to kind of start with this kind of like motivational little video clip from Mel Robbins. If you do not know who Mel Robbins is, you should look her up. She wrote the 5-second rule. It's like the best thing on the planet. Here. Okay, I don't know how to switch what I'm sharing with you guys. Let me see. Ooh. Maybe if I minimize that. Okay, give me just 1 second. I'll just close that. How about that? There we go. Okay, share screen, this one. Okay, here we go. We won't watch that.
I think it's garbage because at some point we all bought into this lie that call me the master of motivation, and I think motivation is complete garbage. So maybe we should start there.
That is a perfect place to start. So I totally agree with you. But why do you say that? I do 100%. Now, I said that in the spirit of I know what you're trying to do, so it is meant with absolute reverence. But why do you say that it's garbage?
Well, and we'll talk a lot about this, but I think it's garbage because at some point we all bought into this lie that you got to feel ready in order to change.
Yeah.
We bought into this complete falsehood that at some point you're going to have the courage. At some point you're going to have the confidence, and it's total bullshit, frankly. Are we allowed to swear on this show?
Absolutely.
Okay. It's complete garbage. And so there are so many people in the world, and you know, you may be watching this right now, and you have these incredible ideas, and what you think is missing is motivation. And that's not true, because the way that our minds are wired and the fact about human beings is that we are not designed to do things that are uncomfortable or scary or difficult. Our brains are designed to protect us from those things because our brains are trying to keep us alive. And in order to change, in order to build a business, in order to be the best parent, the best spouse, to do all those things that you know you want to do with your life, with your work, with your dreams, you're going to have to do things that are difficult, uncertain, or scary, which sets up this problem for all of us. You're never going to feel.
Yes, I love that. And it's a longer video, and it's a clip from a much longer video than that even. But my point in showing you that is to remind you that motivation will get you started on this journey, but it's not what's going to allow you to make it all 80 days. Because there's going to be days where you don't want to. There's going to be days where you still can't walk from the workout that was 3 days ago. And now it's booty day again, and you can't understand how or why because you just did legs 2 days ago. And like I said, you still can't walk, can't sit on the toilet, and you like want to eat the pizza instead of the time following the time nutrition plan. And on those days, those are the days where you're really going to have to channel and think about why you decided to start this journey. Was it because you needed to find yourself again? You needed to make yourself a priority again? Maybe it is a weight loss goal. You know, maybe it is that you wanted to specifically focus on targeting your legs and your glutes. Or maybe you needed a community of women to support you on this journey. Regardless of what that why is, I want you to start attaching emotions to that why, right? So instead of just thinking about the fact that your favorite pair of jeans will fit more comfortably again, I want you to think about how it's going to feel when those jeans fit so comfortably that your confidence just skyrockets through the roof and you're happier. And I mean, the fact of the matter is when we feel our best, it impacts so many areas of our lives, not just our physical being, right? But our moods, and we're nicer and we're kinder and we walk with our heads up, and it just kind of filters into all areas of our life. So think about those feelings that you're going to have whenever you finish this program from start to finish. And guys, whenever I say that, I do not mean 100% staying 100% on track with your nutrition, 100% on track with your workouts. I mean setting a goal for yourself, whatever that looks like. Of course, I encourage you to stay as on track as possible to get the most out of the program, but everybody's goals are different, right? And so that is what you're going to have to think about on those days where your motivation is gone, because there will be those days. I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat that at all. Let me pull back up our slides real quick. One day I'll get this thing figured out. Maybe not. Okay, so 80-day obsession. I wanted to start off by showing a few results. So these results actually, I'm not sure if I don't think that they're on the call, but these are two girls that were actually in the first round of 80-day obsession with Mallory and myself. They had incredible results. They went on several trips during this program. They missed a few workouts. They slipped on their nutrition sometimes, and look at the results that they got just by staying committed throughout the entire process. Here are my results. If you follow me on social media, you probably saw these. I will be 100% upfront and honest. I had every intentions of completing this program 100% to a T as far as the nutrition plan is concerned, and that just didn't happen because my goals kind of changed and shifted and life happened and whatever. I did get my workout done every single day, but the nutrition plan I was probably like 85-15 on, and I still got incredible results. My body changed in ways that like I didn't even know that it could. Here are some other results just to kind of give you some reference as to what this program can do for you physically. Mallory shared a really awesome video in our accountability group, I think it was yesterday, about her internal transformation throughout the process, and it just totally like spoke to my soul, because I think it's so easy to get wrapped up in these physical results that we forget about that part, but so important. Incredible results. Super, super awesome. Okay, so now let's kind of go into the meat of what this call will be about. So as far as the My Challenge Tracker app is concerned, hopefully we're on kind of day 3 of being in that group and doing a little obsessed. Hopefully you're kind of getting a little bit more familiar with how the app works. Be sure you have, you know, like all of your settings turned on, and that you're looking at the group feed, and you can track your kind of before and after and progress photos and measurements and weight in the app. There is a desktop version of the app, so if you just go to mychallengetrackerportal.com, I think is the website, you can see like a desktop version of the app instead of just on your phone. Be sure to watch the My Challenge Tracker app kind of training video on our Dream Dynasty Challenge website. That'll kind of teach you a little bit more about the app as far as details are concerned specifically. But in this app, you will log and share anything and everything your heart desires. There's only a plus button for logging a workout in a Shakeology, but we want you to share anything. Share recipes, share your meal plans, share maybe some struggles and some challenges that you're overcoming. I don't know if it was in this group, or I think it was in our 21-day group that we have going on right now. A lady hopped in there around lunchtime and she was like, "Guys, I'm struggling. I want Mexican food. I've already like looked around at Mexican food places around my work, and I don't think I can make it fit in my meal plan. I'm struggling. Help me out here." So lean into the group in those moments, because you're going to have those moments. We also want to celebrate your victories and successes along the way. Guys, it does not have to be a number on a scale to be celebrated. If you go out to eat with your family and you make really awesome choices and you stick to your meal plan, that needs to be celebrated. Like, that is not something that's easy to do for most of us. And so be sure to continue sharing that in our group as well. Update your progress photos, measurements, and your weight. Use the group, of course, for accountability, motivation, support, and inspiration. Be sure to check the pinned posts at the top every single day. A coach will have a post pinned at the top that will correlate to the workout for that day. So if it's booty day, it will specifically talk about something from the workout, or will encourage you to share something. Check the files tab. I'll put these slides under the files tab, and then we can upload some sample meal plans under there and things like that. And then I want to encourage you to share your meal plans every Sunday evening, just because if there's somebody else that's in the same bracket as you, and maybe you have it down a little bit better than somebody else, they can kind of learn and learn from your meal plan and tailor it to fit kind of their needs and their lifestyle. As far as, I'm going to kind of jump back up to the progress photos, measurements, and weights. I get that not just our before pictures, but it's uncomfortable, right? Taking pictures of ourselves maybe when we don't feel our best is uncomfortable. But you guys, I can so deeply promise you that you will thank yourself later. And I say that because so throughout the course of the 80 days, I gained 5 pounds. The scale never went down. At one point, I was up 7 pounds. Going into phase 2, I was up 7 pounds. And then by the time it was all said and done with, I was down 5 pounds. But I lost like 9 inches. And I just felt amazing. Like, I felt so amazing. And when I put my pictures side by side, I was like, what? How do I weigh 5 more pounds in the picture on the right than I do on the left? And it's literally just because of how my body changed. So especially in the beginning of the program, as you're adjusting to the nutrition plan and the meal plan, your cortisol levels are going to be kind of out of whack probably as you're adjusting, and you're going to be building muscle. And so the scale may not, I'm not saying that it won't, because so many people in the test group lost tens and tens of pounds. But just in case it doesn't, you will have those pictures to reference to remind yourself just how far you've come in your journey. And sometimes that is literally everything. So I want to encourage you to, share that progress with our group. You never know who you may be motivating and inspiring to continue on their journey as well. Even if somebody has kind of fallen off track a little bit, and maybe they haven't, they're not up to date with the workouts, or maybe they have halfway thrown in the towel, your motivation and your encouragement and your progress could really help reignite that drive to continue forward in somebody else. So be sure you do that. Okay, so step 1, pictures and measurements. We just talked about this. Be sure to get your before pictures and measurements done on Sunday. This little measurements sheet right here is under the program materials tab on your Beachbody On Demand account. So if you go to Beachbody On Demand and you click on 80-Day Obsession, there's a program materials tab. Everything that we are going to be going over from here forward is under that tab. I made that, I tried to make that kind of clear in the post that I made in our group this morning, but just in case it wasn't super clear, all of the eating plan stuff that hopefully you've maybe at least glanced at by this point, and you can take this information and kind of go back and reference that stuff. All of that will be there. So you can use this. If you have another type of tracker to track your, your measurements and stuff, you can totally use that as well. There's probably an app you can use. The one thing I will say, and this is kind of an ongoing struggle in all of my groups, not just 80-Day Obsession, is ensuring that you are measuring in the same spot every single time. Every single time. So whether that is like taking a diagram like this and maybe like putting a mark exactly where you put your measuring tape to make sure that you're measuring your waist every time and not your hips, because that could be real discouraging, if you go from your waist to your hips and you think you're measuring the same thing. So just be sure that you're really specific when you mark where you're measuring so that you're consistent every time. Now, I also get a lot of questions when it comes to measuring on, okay, is my waist like where my belly button is, or is it, at the bottom of my rib cage, or is it right above my hip bones? And everybody's waist is different as far as like, do you have a long torso or short torso? I will just encourage you to just be sure you're doing it in the same place every single time. That's really all that matters, is that you're measuring in the same place. So just keep that in mind. You can go to this little link here, beachbodyondemand.com/how to take before and after photos. And it shares with you kind of some tips on being sure that you're getting the best photos, like standing in front of a blank wall and not having kind of any distractions around you, and what to wear and things like that. And then the beachbodychallengecontest.com website, you can submit your before and after pictures once you're done with 80-Day Obsession, and you get a free t-shirt or a tank top. I just submitted mine the other day, so that's really fun. They also give away monetary prizes for really great transformation. So it's like $500 a day, and then they do like a big grand prize of like a lot of money, like $100,000 or something. But regardless of what your before and after photos look like, as long as you submit them, you get a free shirt. So we'll remind you that as we get a little bit closer to 80 days as well. So now we're going to walk through the nutrition plan. So step 2, after you get your photos taken on Sunday, calculate your calorie target. So your bracket essentially is what we're trying to find now. So you're going to use this specific calculation to figure out which calorie bracket you fall into. So for example, if you weigh 160 pounds, you're going to multiply that by 11, and that's going to give you your caloric baseline. And then you're going to take that and you're going to add 600. Now, we're going to pause here. If you are wanting to eat in maintenance, meaning you don't want to, quote unquote, lose weight, then you're going to stop right here, and that's the calorie target that you're going to use. If you want to eat in weight loss, like a calorie deficient, then you're going to move to the next step, and you're going to subtract 750. Okay, so deciding, this is kind of a blurred gray area that Autumn talked a lot about in our coach test group, is figuring out if you want to eat for maintenance or in a deficit. It just kind of depends on where you're at. I told all of my girls before, I would start in the deficit, and then if you feel like you're starving and you really don't have a ton of weight to lose, then just bump up to your maintenance bracket. You want to be sure that you're giving your body enough fuel because of how intense our workouts are. But you also want to be sure that you're getting the results that you expect. So if you're kind of struggling with that and you're not sure which route to go with, just reach out to your coach, and they can kind of help walk you through that and figure out exactly which bracket you'd be eating in. So for example, if we work our way all the way down to the bottom to the calorie deficit, we end up with 1,610. So then step 3 would be to determine which eating plan you're in. So 1,610 would put us in plan B right here. So that's the meal plan that we would follow, and we're going to look at those in just a second. Now you will recalculate your bracket after every phase. That does not mean that if you are, 2 weeks into phase 1 and you just cannot eat the amount of food that you're supposed to be eating. Like you're miserable, you're bloated, like you've given yourself 2 weeks to try to get used to the meal plan, and you just can't do it. work with your coach, and it might be best that you bump down a bracket. Same thing goes as to if like you can just feel your body utilizing all of its food that you're giving it as fuel, and like you just need more calories and you're just not feeling great, then work with your coach on bumping up. So I don't want you to feel like you're married to one of these specific, you know, plan A, plan B, plan C, because everybody's body is so uniquely different. This is just supposed to be kind of a guideline and a structure for you to kind of start with. So I felt really comfortable. I fell in plan A, and I felt really comfortable with plan A throughout the duration of the program. So there were lots of coaches in that test group though that were struggling with needing to go up or down though. So just work with your coach if you're kind of unsure on whether you want to eat in maintenance or in weight loss. And I hate using the word weight loss because I didn't necessarily want to lose weight, but you know what I mean, in a deficit, and then determining your eating plan and figuring out where to go from there. So once you do that, you need to get your eating plan. So if you go to, let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. If you go to that program materials link right here on your Beachbody On Demand, you will see all of the eating plans down here under the nutrition tab. This getting started guide right here, or the starter guide right here, is where all of the information about figuring out your bracket and things like that are concerned. That's where that is at. It's in that PDF. And then below nutrition down here is where the eating plan A, B, C, D, all of those are going to be listed. So that is where you get your actual eating plan. One thing I want to suggest that you do is watch the starter videos. There's a quick start tips video, there's an eating plans tips video, and then there's a weekly obsession video. Weekly obsession is so cool, you guys. So in case you're unfamiliar, 80-Day Obsession was the first program that was filmed live every single day of the program. So there's no editing, nothing's cut out. It's not like all of our other programs, you know, where they're, you know, produced and edited and things like that. So it's 100% live. Every workout is different. So you really get to like see the raw, unedited version of what it's like for these cast members to go through this program with Autumn. So they all had before and after pictures. They all, you know, went through the program with Autumn the first time. And so what these weekly obsession videos are is every Sunday after you do your stretching workout or your roll and release, not workout, but you know, the roll and release or the stretch and release things, there is a weekly obsession video, and it is essentially a behind the scenes look with Autumn and the cast as they document their progress and the challenges and the struggles that they're going through, and they share with you some of their kind of tips and tricks that are helping them get results and that are helping them push through. So it's super awesome because they are going through the program. And whenever you watch the weekly obsession video, so you watch it on Sunday and it is for what to expect for the upcoming week. It's just really cool to kind of hear that they are going through the same thing that you are, whether it's, you know, trying to like get used to the meal plan and, you know, stay strong and stay committed, or how sore they are, or how they're practicing self-care, or how they really hated that one move from that one workout. So really, really cool there. So just be sure you watch these starter videos. It's just going to give you some additional information to get started. Next, you need to get your workouts, obviously. So Beachbody On Demand, hopefully you've kind of played around with that a little bit, especially if you're doing a little obsessed. The workout calendar is going to be under that program materials as well. You will get one with your pack. So if you haven't gotten your pack yet, that is okay. Hopefully you have it by Monday. If you don't have it by Monday, that's okay. Everything you need is on Beachbody On Demand besides your bands and your sliders. So what I want you to do though is take this workout calendar and I want you to put it where you're going to be doing your workouts at, just so that you can have the satisfaction of every single day crossing off day 1, day 2, day 3. And I don't think that you realize how satisfying it is to just slowly like mark them off day by day, but it is extremely satisfying. So, and it also just kind of reminds you that you're on this 80-day journey with all of us. So be sure to get that printed as well. Here's just a really quick outline of the workouts. They are almost all 45 to 60 minutes. There are a couple cardio workouts that are closer to 30, which is great for those of us that are used to 30-minute workouts. Total body core literally works your whole body with a focus on your core. Booty day cardio core is really fun. It's kind of like interval training. You'll do like a high intensity move, a low intensity move, and then a core ab move. AAA is arms, abs, and booty. That was today in A Little Obsessed if you did that one. Legs is 45 minutes, and then cardio flow. You guys, that workout sucks. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, nobody that went through the program liked that workout. So good thing about it though is that it's always the shortest workout. So it's definitely a challenging one, but it's also one that you can really measure kind of your non-scale victories and your strength from, because every time you'll get a little bit further and a little bit further before you have to take a break. There's also 2 bonus routines for self-care. These are the ones that I mentioned a little bit earlier. They're 15 and 20 minutes. One is a roll and release, so using a foam roller, and then the other one is just a stretch and release, just like a 20-minute stretching workout or exercise. There is, like I mentioned, a huge emphasis on self-care in this program, which honestly I think played one of the biggest roles in sort of my mindset shift around taking care of my whole body, whether it was like an Epsom salt bath on a Sunday night after I got done stretching, or sleeping in a little bit and giving myself some grace, that I was able to do that on a specific day. Whatever self-care looks like for you, and we'll talk about self-care throughout the course of the program and kind of give you some ideas as to what you can do to really focus on practicing that. It's so important that you implement it, because it really is part of like this holistic kind of taking care of yourself thing. Of course, equipment, hopefully you're familiar with this. We talked about it in our group yesterday. You will need weights, light, medium, and heavy. I always get asked what size of weights you'll need. It totally depends on where you're at as far as your fitness level and your strength. I would say that anywhere between like 5s and 8s to 10s and 12s to 15s would probably be good to start. As you get stronger though, especially for your lower body workouts, you're probably going to want like some 20s and maybe some 25s depending on where you're starting. Your loops and your slides will come in your challenge pack, and then foam roller, you can get those literally anywhere. Like Beachbody has one, but you can get them at Walmart, Academy, TJ Maxx is where I got mine at. So I would highly recommend having a foam roller on hand, and then just a yoga mat, of course, for all of your floor exercises. Now let's talk about the eating plans. So this is where you're probably going to want to like turn my face off and mute my voice and walk away from your computer, because you're going to be like, what are you talking about? Because it is definitely a little more involved than those of you that have been in an accountability group before. It's definitely more involved than like our traditional portion fix meal plan. And it's probably, regardless of whether you've ever done a boot camp before or not, or a challenge group before or not, it's probably more involved than what you do on a daily basis. So there are a couple terms that you need to be familiar with. Workout block is probably the most important one, because this time nutrition concept is focused around that workout block. So it's essentially the 4 to 5 hour window that surrounds your workout. So it will consist of a pre-workout meal, your workout, and a post-workout meal, and then any supplements as far as like Energizer or Recover that you're taking in there. So it's just that workout. The workout block is just that window surrounding your workout, pre and post-workout meal. So we'll go into more details in a second. Refeed day, you don't have to worry about this until phase 2, but there is a refeed day the day before leg day in phase 2, and it's increased carb intake, so you get more fruit, you get more carbohydrates. It's a really fun day. They have specific recipes that are catered, like targeted specifically for refeed day, like chickpea brownies, and all of your carbohydrates are what Autumn calls dirty carbs. So like instead of a sweet potato, you have a regular potato, or instead of a wheat bun, you'd have a white bun. So it really kind of comes at the perfect moment for you to be able to like kind of get the satisfaction of like just having a big juicy hamburger on a white bun at a restaurant sort of thing. And that will be the day before leg day in phase 2. So we don't really have to worry about the specifics of that now. We'll talk about that later. Peak week is the final week of the entire program. We're not going to go into detail about that now because it is quite a ways away, but it's an optional sort of shed and shred week at the end. It's probably what you would expect, a lower carbohydrate intake and a lower fruit intake as well, just to kind of help you like really get the best results possible right at the end. Supplements. Energize is the pre-workout, the yellow stuff that you see me drink every single day. Or you probably see your coach drink every single day. Recover is a post-workout protein shake, essentially, that helps restore glycogen to your muscles. It obviously helps with muscle recovery and things like that. Hydrate is essentially an electrolyte that you can drink during your workout and then recharge. is another kind of like recovery supplement that you can have before bed. I have only ever used the Energize and Recover. The Energize is the pre-workout. I use it every single day. I used Recover for the entire course of the program. I haven't decided if I'm going to use it for this round. It's absolutely not required. You will see in the meal plan templates that there is an option for if you are using these supplements, and then if you're not, here's what you'll do. I don't use Hydrate only because I don't like to drink liquids, water, or anything during my workout because I just burp it up and it's gross. And then the Recharge, I've never tried Recharge, but I have heard from some that they really love it because it's the supplement that you'll have right before bed, and it tastes like vanilla cake batter. So if you have a sweet tooth at night, not only is it like helping you recover and helping with muscle soreness and recovery, but it also is kind of like a sweet tooth craving at night. But I have never tried either one of those. So don't fret if you did not order the challenge pack with any of the supplements. It is 100% okay. And then Shakeology. I'm hopeful that everybody in this group got Shakeology with their challenge pack. It is such an important part of not only this nutrition plan, but just getting nutrients in your system and in your diet that are just missing from our everyday regular food. And so if you have tried Shakeology during this week of A Little Obsessed and you don't love it, please post in the group or reach out to your coach, because I can promise you it's just the way that you're blending it. I promise. And so we will figure out how to get it to the right consistency and with the right ingredients to make sure that you really do love it, because it is such an important part of the program. Okay, so Time Nutrition, basically what it focuses on is the fact that when you eat matters just as much as what you eat. So I'm using Plan B just kind of as a generic example here. And you will see that here's the workout block right here. Okay, so here's your workout. So the workout block, like I mentioned earlier, is the 4 to 5 hours that surround your workout. So remember, these containers over here is specific to Plan B. So if you're not in Plan B, the containers will look different. I'm just using this as an example. So 60 to 90 minutes before you work out, you're going to have your pre-workout meal. Now, here's the thing. If you have to do your workout early in the morning, like 5:30, and you don't want to wake up 90 minutes before that just to eat, you don't have to. She just gives you this window of 60 to 90 minutes so that you don't feel like you have to eat a full meal and then go do your workout and puke everywhere, basically. She said, Autumn, whenever I say she, I'm talking about Autumn. Autumn says that she can eat and in like 10 minutes, she can go do her workout and she's good to go. Not everybody functions that way. I'm usually good within like 30 minutes. I can eat my pre-workout meal. And then as soon as I'm done eating, I'll drink my Energize and wait about 30 minutes, and then I can go do my workout and be fine. You're going to have to kind of play around with what works best for you. If you're doing your workout a little bit later on in the day, then maybe you can eat and wait an hour to do your workout. If you're doing it early in the morning, you might have to modify that a little bit. So don't focus so much on this 60 to 90 minute before your workout period. Just know that you need to have a pre-workout meal to give your body some fuel before you do your workout. So don't stress about the 60 to 90 minutes. And always write down questions that you have and either post in the group or reach out to your coach, and we will make sure that we are customizing these plans to fit your lifestyle. Now here's the optional Energize. If you are doing Energize, you'll drink that about 20 to 30 minutes before your workout, and then you're going to do your workout. And then during your workout, if you're drinking Hydrate, you'll do that during your workout. And then within 30 minutes after your workout, if you're drinking Recover, you're going to have your Recover in a purple, which is a fruit. I always did my Recover blended up with half a banana, and it was so good. If you're interested in like a post-workout protein, the Recover, like taste-wise, I'm not a big fan of whey protein, which is why I drink the vegan Shakeology. And the Recover has whey protein in it, so be aware of that if you are plant-based. But it is so good. It tastes like a Wendy's Frosty. So you'll have that within 30 minutes after your workout. If you're not drinking Recover, we will look at the option to where they basically just move this purple fruit into another meal. So if you're not using the post-workout Recover, you'll just go to your post-workout meal. You can eat it 1 to 2 hours after your workout. I eat mine like within 30 minutes after my workout. I don't wait a full hour or 2 hours. Just know that you have that flexibility. The most important thing about this workout block is that you eat a meal, you do your workout, and then you eat a meal. And that you have about an hour to 2 hours on either side of your workout to do either one of those meals. Okay, that's kind of the most important part. For somebody who's going to be drinking the post-workout Recover with the fruit right when your workout's over or within 30 minutes after your workout, you're probably going to want to wait a little bit longer to have that post-workout meal because you're going to be full. Whereas somebody who's not using the post-workout Recover, you might want to eat that post-workout meal a little bit closer to when you finish your workout because you might be more hungry. And then down here, okay, so follow me here because it's about to get a little tricky. And I have another slide that kind of shows this. This meal, okay, so you have your pre-workout meal, your post-workout meal, and then you have meal option 1, 2, and 3, okay? The most important thing, and I have another slide that breaks all this down, is that you keep these containers together, okay? So the combination of these containers have to stay together. However, besides your pre and post-workout meal, these can be moved around. So let's say you have your pre-workout meal, you do your workout, post-workout meal, and then you come down here and you're like, I don't really want that meal right now, so I'm gonna do this one right now, and then in 2 or 3 hours, I'll do this one, and then I'll do this one. So you can move the meals around, but you have to keep the containers together. Got it? Kind of? Good? Okay, good. Another thing, just to kind of confuse you a little bit more, for those of you that do have to do your workout early in the morning, or even if you're not, even if you just prefer this, that's totally fine. You can swap, and there's a note right here. This combination right here is a really good Shakeology combination because you have the red for Shakeology, the purple for a fruit, and then the teaspoon for like peanut butter or something like that. So this is a really good Shakeology combination. And it tells you right here, this works great with Shakeology. You can swap meal option 1, your Shakeology, for your pre-workout meal if you don't feel like you can eat this full meal and then do a workout. Okay, so I'm gonna say that again. It says right here on the screen, if you find that the pre-workout meal is too heavy, or if you're having to eat really quick and then do your workout because of time, you can swap your Shakeology meal option 1 for your pre-workout. So you would literally just swap them. So you would have your Shakeology with this combination, you do your workout, you'd have your post-workout meal, and then you'd have this meal some other time. Okay, and all of that is noted here. It tells you right here that you can swap those two. But outside of swapping your pre-workout with your meal option 1, your workout block should stay the same besides that. And you can swap around when you eat these, but you can't separate the containers. Okay, so I'm gonna give you an example here in a minute. This kind of reiterates that. You can move around the meal options, so like meal option 1, 2, or 3, but you cannot separate and change the containers within the meal options. Do not move around the workout block options, your pre-workout and your post-workout, unless you're swapping meal option 1 for your pre-workout meal, if you find that that pre-workout meal is too heavy or if you're eating really close to when you're doing your workout. You want to eat every 2 to 3 hours if possible. If you have like a really crazy day and there's just no way you can sit down to eat, just keep it simple. Like for a vegetable, instead of having to like eat roasted broccoli out of Tupperware, take some baby carrots and just like pop them in your mouth while you're doing whatever. And if you're not exactly 2 to 3 hours eating, it's okay. Make this work for you. These are just kind of some guiding principles that Autumn put together, try to help you get the most out of a really structured program. Okay, so I don't want you to get overwhelmed, or, I mean, you're gonna be overwhelmed a little bit, but I promise you, and Mallory can attest to this, it gets easier, I promise. What I did in the beginning was I set alarms. So I was doing my workout in the morning. So I had my alarm to get up, my alarm to eat my pre-workout meal, my alarm to drink my Energize, my alarm to start my workout, my alarm to drink my Recover, my alarm for my post-workout meal, and then every 3 hours or so to eat the next meal. It's a little excessive, but I only had to do that for like a full week, and then I just knew when to eat. So until you get used to the container combinations and things like that, setting alarms is a really good option. And I would use like the heart emojis. I was going to show you, but I don't think I can. Like, so when I set my alarm for like my pre-workout meal, it would have like a red heart, a green heart, a yellow heart, and a little spoon. So I knew exactly what I needed to eat when that alarm went off. Of course, if you like work outside of your home and you are packing meals for a whole day, you'll have those container groupings together, I'm sure, whenever you pack your meals. That might be a little bit different, but the bottom just reiterates that you do not have to eat an hour to an hour and a half before your workout if your body digests foods quickly, Or if you're swapping, you know, if you're doing your Shakeology, like I know Mallory, for example, her pre-workout meal is always her Shakeology. She can drink her Shakeology and then have her Energize and do her workout pretty quickly. My pre-workout meal is typically, I posted this on my stories today, it's typically oatmeal with peanut butter and then sauteed spinach and 2 eggs. So that meal is a little bit heavier than a blended Shakeology. So I typically need like 45 minutes or so to be able to start my workout. So just make it fit you. This I just wanted to post to show you how, first of all, an example of what a specific meal plan would look like for Plan B, and then how you can swap these 2 meals around. So depending on if you're Plan B or Plan A or Plan C, you'll have a container count right here. So see, this is Plan B. 4 greens, 3 purples, yada, yada, yada. And here's all of the meal options broken up. So pre-workout meal, actually this is exactly what I eat for my pre-workout meal, except the olive oil is peanut butter. So you can have this for a pre-workout, or you can swap it with this Shakeology meal option. And then if you have Energize and Hydrate, do your workout, then have your Recover and your banana, and then your post-workout meal, those same containers. Meal option 1, meal option 2, meal option 3, which is typically supper. This is just an example of what that would look like, okay? What I would suggest doing is keeping it pretty simple in the beginning. So if you watched the meal prep video on our challenge, on our Dream Dynasty Challenge Group website, I talked a little bit about how I like to prep staples. So prep a couple proteins like boiled eggs or ground turkey or lean ground beef or chicken breast, or, you know, whatever that looks like for you. Have some veggies on hand. Baby carrots and celery are great for on the go. Roast some broccoli, some Brussels sprouts, or whatever kind of veggie you like. Have some sweet potatoes cooked, or some brown rice cooked, or like whole wheat bread or something on hand that you can grab and go, or whole wheat pasta. And just put your meals together that way. So like for your post-workout meal, you're like, okay, I need a green, which is a veggie, so I'm gonna have this broccoli. I need a red chicken breast. I need a yellow whole grain pasta. Throw some olive oil on it and make a pasta sort of thing. So just keep it really simple at first until you get used to it, and then you can get more creative with your recipes. There are recipes on Fixate that I would encourage you, maybe don't dive too far deep into until maybe after week 2-ish, until you get a little bit used to the meal plan. But she has recipes on Fixate that are specifically geared towards these meal combinations. So like she has a recipe that specifically has a green, red, yellow, orange, and a teaspoon. So you can get a little bit more creative. But I would just suggest in the beginning, just trying to keep it as simple as possible. So rest day, you'll have a rest day every Sunday when you will do some kind of stretching or roll and release or something. Your container count won't change. You'll eat the same number of containers every day. And you can still move around your meal options, just don't swap the containers around. You're still gonna eat every 2 to 3 hours. You will not use the performance line on your rest day. So, well, unless you're me, I drink Energize every day. So I still have Energize, but if you're using the post-workout Recover, you won't have that on these days. And you'll notice that your fruit will just move to your post-workout supplement. From your post-workout supplement to your meal option 2. So this meal option 2 right here is typically, you'll notice here, meal option 2 is a green, purple, and blue. So it just throws that extra fruit onto that meal option there. So rest day nutrition, container stayed the same, but you don't take your supplements. Refeed day and deplete day, we'll discuss that a little bit later because we won't have to deal with those until phase 2 and 3. Use a tracker. So did I get this tracker from, I think I got this tracker from the program materials. If you don't see it there, let me know. I might have got it somewhere else. But if you Google 80-Day Obsession, menu planner, meal plan tracker, something like that, you can find, like, see how this is specific for Plan B? So it has all of the meals broken down with containers, and you can go through here and you can write exactly what you're gonna have for each one of those containers for every meal, just to help you kind of stay on track. There's also an app that you can use, but it's not specific to 80-Day Obsession, so it can get a little bit more complicated. I found this menu planner and I just printed it out, and I just used it that way until I got used to it. I would say that by like week 3, actually maybe partway through week 2, I already knew it. So I knew, like, I didn't have to set any alarms on my phone. I could turn them all off, and I knew that Meal option 1 for me was a purple, a red, and a teaspoon. Meal option 2 was a blue and a green. Meal option 3, I needed an orange, and that sort of thing. So you will get used to it, I promise. But use a tracker, set alarms in the beginning just until you get a little bit more familiar. These workout block examples, all of these are in your program material. So it gives you examples of, let me make this a little bit bigger. It gives you examples of how to eat based on when you're going to do your workout. So like this example right here, if you're on meal plan B, because that's what we're using right now, this is if you wake up at 5:30 and you do your workout at 7:30. This one right here is if you wake up at 6:30 and you do your workout at 1:30. This one here is for an evening workout. And this one here is for time nutrition without the performance line. So you'll see like on a regular one, you'll have this fruit right here. Oh, didn't mean to do that. You'll have this fruit with your Beachbody performance. Whereas down here, if you're not doing the post-workout performance with the fruit, it moves your fruit to, where does it move our fruit to? Meal option 2, your post-workout meal. So instead of like your post-workout meal being like chicken pasta with broccoli and olive oil, you'll eat an apple with it or something like that. So if you're not using the post-workout recover, that fruit just moves into your post-workout meal. So all of these are in your program materials. Just look at them, figure out when you're going to be doing your workout every day. That's another reason why it's so important for you to know the day before when you're going to be doing your workout. I used to be really consistent in doing my workout really early in the morning whenever I worked outside of the home. But now that I'm home full time, my days, depending on how much work I need to get done or if I have to run errands or do this, that, and the other thing, my workout kind of gets shifted around a little bit. So what I do is the night before, I set my workout clothes out the night before where I can see them. Just a little tip for you. It will trigger you to know that you need to get your workout done. And then the night before when I set my workout clothes out, I look at my day the next day and I say, okay, I have class in the evening, so I can't do my workout in the evening. I have Bible study in the morning, so I can't do my workout in the morning. So I'm gonna get back home and then I'm gonna need to eat. So my workout's probably gonna be around noon. So then I would build when I need to eat and I would set my alarms around that. It literally all revolves around your workout, the time nutrition part. Use the container food list under the program materials. So if you look at the program materials, you will see one that says food container lists, and it will have green with a list of greens, red with a list of reds. I know we have some people, we have a couple ladies on here who have been on their health and fitness journey for a while, regardless of whether it's through Beachbody or something else, and you are familiar with what you should be fueling your body with. That's pretty much what these lists are, like a list of veggies, a list of clean proteins, and things like that. So use that list to formulate your meals. The Team Beachbody blog has a ton of 80-day obsession tips, tricks, and resources. They also have recipes that are specific to, like, here's some really good pre-workout meals that match the containers, and here's some really good meal option 2s that match those containers. And then for Shakeology and other food recipes, of course, Pinterest is like my jam when it comes to that stuff. Here's some other resources. These are the pre-workout meals and post-workout meals that I was talking about from the blog, so I'll share all of this with you guys. So what's next? Meal prep, of course, before Monday. Probably wouldn't do it today because your food will go bad, but you know what I mean. Plan your workout times for every single day. Don't stress and do your best. So the fact of the matter is, I don't think I can stop sharing. The fact of the matter is that this is going to be a process. And right now you're probably thinking like, what the heck did I just get myself into? This is so complicated. I promise it gets easier. You just kind of have to break it down piece by piece. The first week might not be perfect, and that's okay. That doesn't mean you need to throw in the towel and give up. Just continue to learn about time nutrition, about the workouts, and just make it work for you. None of this is like an all or nothing. You can tweak when you're eating, and if you're not feeling good, like we can work to, fix those things, and we have to make this fit you and your lifestyle and make it feasible for you. So that is like the number one thing I want you to take away from this. I will post all the slides under the files tab in the group. I will share this recording first thing in the morning. I wanted to see, Mallory, I'm not sure if you're like out and about or if you're at home, if you wanted to kind of hop on and add any sort of anything that you could think of that either we didn't cover or just some kind of advice that you'd want to give.
Hey, yeah, I'm at home. Sorry, I was eating dinner the first half of this, so like no one needed to see that. But the only thing I would add is that like I guess I would just add on to like what you've said of like um don't expect yourself to be perfect because we're not perfect, you know, but these plans are put in place for us to, and you know, the closer you can stick to them, the better results you'll get. But like, we're human and we have kids and we have lives and husbands and all of these things to do. And I mean, like, there was a week in there that I was in Utah and like hiking all day and trying to figure out how I was going to work out somewhere, you know? And so there were some days I had to make up workouts and there were other days I just like didn't feel like it because of whatever reason. And it's pretty astonishing actually how motivating it is to be in this group, because I think if I wasn't, I honestly would have just like skipped them and moved on and been like, okay, no big deal. Like, I'm a day behind or I'm a week behind, or do I really need to do that workout? Like, being in these challenge groups, if you've been in a shorter one, like you get it and you get like how motivating it is. And these longer, like this is a 13-week commitment, right? So this is like literally the biggest commitment I have ever made to myself ever in life. And um, you will not, you will like not even understand how impressed and proud of yourself you will be when you get to the end of this. And every single day, like every day that you get through it, Beth is right. Like crossing that workout off your list is like the best feeling ever. And I would also say that, and I say this in every group, and I think I said it in my video even, of like, give yourself some grace. Like, we're human. It's not a big deal if you mess up. Like, don't beat yourself up, but then also like don't go eat a whole pizza, right? Like, if you mess up or you choose to do something or to eat something not on your meal plan, like just make the choice that very next moment to not do that and to get back on track, you know? Um, and the other thing I will say too is that I did say this in my video yesterday, and if you haven't seen it, I'll just repeat it, is that I started this program at a time in my life that I didn't know how much I really needed it. And, you know, everyone's at different places in their lives and what they need and their expectations. And I mean, because this program is so long, because it is 13 weeks, like think about how much our lives truly do change in those 13 weeks and all of the different things that you do. And I cannot say enough times how much this program and like the 80-day obsession actually kept me focused on me, on what I wanted. And it really did give me something on the days that I was like not having a great day. Like, it gave me something like a great sense of accomplishment and a great sense of camaraderie with my team. Like, I grew up playing team sports, and I think that's honestly something I've missed in life, and having this is something that's awesome. So, you know, even though we're all doing this for ourselves, I think having this group and being like cheerleaders for each other is amazing. And I'm so proud of all of us that actually finished this last round of 80-day obsession. I'm so proud of everyone that's doing this second round. Like, this is amazing, and you should be proud of yourself for even starting and committing to this. Like, we're on day 3, and I can't explain to you how freaking awesome it is to scroll through our tracking app and to just see how pumped everyone is about it and how into it, or like, just I can't explain my excitement with it. So I'm proud of you guys, and I'm just super, super excited to go through the next 13 weeks with you.
Mic drop. I have nothing else to say. That was so beautiful. Love it. Does anybody have any sort of immediate questions? If you haven't gone through the nutrition plan, I want you to hold on to your questions until you do so. But if you've kind of gone through it and you feel like you kind of have your bearings, but you have a question about something that we covered tonight, let me know really quickly. You should be able to unmute yourself. If not, send a chat and I can help that way. But if not, continue to kind of muddle through the program material. And for those of you that are doing a little obsessed this week, keep pushing through. Several of us actually, maybe 3 of us to be exact, are going to be running a half marathon on Sunday. One of us might die, so I'm modifying at least. Like, I will for sure not be doing a leg day after Friday, and lots of stretching on Saturday. So but other than that, I think Mallory like so beautifully put how we feel about this program, those of us that have been through it, into words. And I was telling a couple of you, I was going to hold off on doing a second round because I really wanted to challenge myself and do another crazy program that we have. And I started looking at the program, and then I just couldn't, like, my heart was still with 80-day obsession. So I'm back, and I'm so excited to go through it with all of you ladies. So other than that, I hope you all have an amazing night. I know this was a little bit longer. It took about an hour last time too, just because it's so involved. But I hope you all have a great rest of your night, and we will see you tomorrow in our app. Bye, guys.